Hello, people. We are Tottenham TV, fresh down, dropped down from Madrid. Landed about, an hour and a half ago, straight into the studio. And it just keeps getting worse and worse, people. It really does. Whenever you think you've hit rock bottom with this club, there just seems to find more ways to get steep further down and down and down. Whenever you think it can't get worse, it gets a hell of a lot worse. You know, we were all going into the game yesterday, yeah, maybe a narrow defeat. You know, no one was even predicting a win. Everyone's saying, yeah, maybe a narrow... That's like the positive now, just a narrow defeat. And, yeah, maybe we can get away with it and keep the tie alive going, taking it back to Tottenham next week. But within 15 minutes, 3-0 down, keeper taken off. Within 23 minutes, 4-0 down. It was just like...
They find new ways of embarrassing themselves every single game. It's crazy.
Every week.
It's actually nuts. Like the new inventive, creative way. It's actually impressive how they find new ways to keep one-upping themselves.
Yeah.
In terms of how they shit the bed, how they embarrass themselves week on week. I'd be impressed if it wasn't so tragic.
Look, if this was any other club, we'd be laughing at it. But it's Tottenham Hotspur, and it's close to our heart, so it's hard to find any sort of funny side. There's no funny side. It is just damning statement of events of this tragic football club.
You know, going into yesterday, we know I know it's a Champions League knockout tie, but given our current situation in the league, given how things are going, it was kind of like a game where, in theory, there wasn't that much pressure on us. Like, we could lose as long as it's not like a horrendous defeat. People will probably accept it, and that the bar was so low yesterday. We could probably lose by 2 goals, and as long as we don't completely embarrass ourselves, people will probably come away and think, all right, is what it is. Well, we couldn't even just not embarrass ourselves. We just couldn't do that. We just weren't capable of not completely falling flat on our faces. But it's like, quite literally, we were falling flat on our faces.
Like the manner of the goals that we concede as well. It's just like, you're going into the game, everyone's saying, keep it tight for 10 minutes, keep it tight for 20 minutes. Make sure Atletico don't score that early goal. They get 4 of them. I'm telling you, this tenure right now with Igor Tudor, there's not too much difference between this and Stellini's reign.
Well, Stellini got more points.
Stellini also lost 4 games, didn't he?
No, he got a win and a draw in his first 2.
Oh, well, I thought he lost 4 out of 4. Then it obviously...
we didn't deserve either of his points, but we got them.
It culminated obviously in that game against Newcastle, which draws comparisons to yesterday.
Yeah.
It's just like, where are we going? Where do we go? How do we turn this around? How do we get any sort of positivity to drag us through the mud? Like, we need something. Surely it just can't be this for the rest of the season. It can't be.
We're saying it every week, and it seems to be, not only is it going to be this, but it looks like it could be worse than this right now than what we're seeing. In terms of yesterday, look, obviously he puts Kinski in from the starting 11. And obviously right now everyone's critical of that decision. Everyone says, crazy, what you doing, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? Before the game started, I think a lot of people would have been happy to have heard Kinski was in the starting 11, given Vicario's form at the moment. So I don't know if I can blame Judah too much for starting him. I mean, to be honest, the mistakes he made, what can Tudor do about that? He slips on one, he completely miskicks the other. This is a guy whose distribution is supposed to be his main attribute. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if I can sit here and say Tudor's fault for starting him. Like, it's his fault he slipped. Van de Ven also slipped. Is it his fault for starting Van de Ven? You know what I mean? What can I say about that? How can you legislate for Kinski doing what he did?
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I don't really hold too much criticism for Tudor for starting him in that game. I don't even know if you can say, it was the occasion that got to him. Like, I don't know what happened with Kinski yesterday, but he just sometimes like those kind of things. Like, there's nothing. No manager can do anything about what happened on the pitch yesterday in those first 10 minutes. What are you supposed to do about that? It was nothing tactical.
What happened with Kinski yesterday, you don't see happen on Sunday League pitches. You know what I mean? Like, this is like beyond schoolboy stuff, like what happened with Kinski yesterday. It's just a real shame, and I felt for him when he got taken off after 15 minutes. I really did, but do you think that was the right call in terms of you looking at him and his confidence levels and how he bounces back from this? Would you have kept him on or would you have taken him off?
I don't know.
When you make 2 errors like that in the first 15 minutes of a game.
I probably would have tried to wait till half-time, to be honest. I don't like Tudor ignoring him, to be honest. He ignored him when he went off, after taking him off. I did not like that at all. You got to give him some encouragement, or you got to give him, like, see how he's doing, because that's obviously a big moment. At the end of the day, for Kinski, this is going to be something he's remembered for now. For a long time.
Of course.
Not just for Tottenham. So doing that to him...
But he is a very young keeper.
I'm just saying, doing that to him was a horrible thing to do. It might have been necessary for the situation, but it was also still a horrible thing. So to not comfort him at all and just like ignore him, essentially, I hated that, and I don't think the players would have appreciated that, to be honest. So how that does with Tudor standing in the dressing room, well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully, Kinski bounces back.
I don't know if Tudor has any standing in the dressing room anyway, to be honest. Like, I don't see any responses from any player really, week in, week out on the pitch. So what kind of standing does this manager have in the dressing room anyway?
Who knows? Who knows?
Because it doesn't look like he has any. With the, no one's fighting tooth and nail for him. No one's fighting tooth and nail for the club. The standards at this football club are completely in the gutter. Completely in the gutter. So I think with Kinski, look, he's got a long career ahead of him. He can bounce back from it.
Yeah.
But it's just a really sad state of affairs.
Yeah, and I hate to see people piling in on him. I understand he made those mistakes. For me, the first one, I don't know, is it a mistake he slipped? I mean, I guess it's a mistake in terms of, obviously, it cost us a goal, but like, everyone was slipping. It wasn't just Kinski. I don't know what was going on with that pitch yesterday. Everyone was slipping around, and it's not the first team to suffer from that. So I don't know if I say it's Kinski's fault he slipped. Something was going on that pitch yesterday. I was keeping players from slipping. And I've seen Barcelona. I've seen clips of them. They played in Atletico Madrid a few weeks ago. They lost 4-0, and a lot of their goals, the players were just slipping all over the place, and Atletico were taking advantage of it. And the keeper as well, on that day, made a bad mistake, very similar to Kinski's one. Let the ball roll under his foot, but Kinski slipped. The second one I do think is an error. That's just a horrible error, and he gets it completely wrong. He's too confident. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, he completely just shanks that left-footed pass.
And we all go on about Vicario playing out the back. Vicario's never done something that bad.
No,
you know what I mean? Which is mad. It's just mad. The set of events that happen at this football club, you just can't write it. You can't. And it's like
also made a mistake.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, for the last goal we scored. But I don't know what to do with myself anymore with this football club, man. I'm at just which would just seem like a lost cause. But with that Kinski getting taken off, it seemed as though just before he made the sub, he was deep in conversation with Cuti Romero. I wonder if that was a suggestion from Cuti, or they discussed it before they actually did it. But at least Cuti went and consoled him.
Yeah, Tudor said it was his decision, whether you believe him or not. Yeah. I mean, you just have to look at the images.
Probably a collaborative effort.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure as soon as that. I think that might have been even before the third goal, because I'm pretty sure Vicario was like ready and stripped as soon as that third goal went in. So I don't know, to be honest, but I feel for him. I do definitely feel for him. And look, ever since he's come here, he had such a promising start, but it's just gone so wrong.
Debut.
Yeah, we were amazed by it. And to be honest, it's got horribly wrong. Obviously, we heard reports, didn't we, that his development hasn't gone as we'd have liked. We heard reports earlier, which is why he wasn't playing. And maybe we're seeing that now. But then again, what do you expect when he's playing so little football? He's had a couple of Carabao Cup games. That's pretty much it this season. Doncaster, Newcastle. It's not gone right for him. And sometimes when something like that happens, especially a club, you're just going to need a fresh start, because that's what he's going to be remembered for now at Tottenham, unfortunately, unless he gets a string of games and he starts like playing well and can put this behind him, I think Tottenham will have to move on from him. Not because I think he's bad, it's just sometimes you just get stuck with that image and it's hard for the fans to shake it.
I don't know, man. I think if he can go on loan and get some football and prove himself, then there's no reason why he can't come back here and you know, in better circumstances, hopefully do something at Spurs. Like, let's say we do
it's
get
like with Karius. I feel like, you know, when that happened, he had to go. Like, they couldn't keep him, even though he was actually quite good that year. He had that what happened in the final, and he just.
It depends what character you are. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, I'm just saying it'll be hard for the.
Just because it happened to Karius doesn't mean it's going to happen to Kinski. It could very well do. But also, what about that keeper? What's his name? Who's the keeper for Roma now? You said that horrible mistake when he was a young kid.
Yeah.
And he's responded to that, and he's one of the best.
16 at the time.
Yeah, and he's one of the best goalkeepers in Serie A right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he wasn't taken off after 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Different. But look, I'm not saying he can't bounce back and he is clearly a strong character. I'm just saying, I think for him, if I was him, I'd be like, look, get a fresh start somewhere, get playing somewhere regularly, and you know, just write a line under this, because it's gone horribly wrong since he's come here, and then he's had this moment, which is just such a memorable moment, you know, and he needs to go somewhere where he's probably just not in the limelight as much right now, and get on with his career. And I think being at Tottenham, he's just always going to be associated with it, I feel. Look, obviously I could be wrong, but that's just a feeling I get.
Yeah, look, I feel like if we get relegated, he'll probably stick around and be our number one keeper.
Maybe.
So,
maybe
look,
Brandon Austin.
We'll see. But look, it's just, I just...
But yeah,
I'm
you're
just
right.
so
In terms of
fed up with it, man.
In terms of that first 20 minutes, that was obviously up there with Stellini's game against Newcastle.
Yeah, and obviously in that game with Stellini's game against Newcastle, Lloris gets taken off at half-time. We've never seen him since. Obviously, he left the club after that. And, I mean, I've never seen a goalkeeper get taken off after 15 minutes.
No, I've
literally never seen it.
Never seen that in my life.
It's just
madness. Following this
madness.
following watching football a long time. Never seen that happen.
Yeah.
That's a first.
You know, we all said coming into it, you know, we're going to see Diego Simeone's dark arts and stuff. And everyone's talking about it in the comments, but I feel that the way that everyone kept slipping, that's dark arts at its fullest, man. It really is. And we got done by it. We got absolutely done.
And also, the fourth goal. First of all, the first three goals were all slips and whatever. And then the fourth goal was a complete dive from Alvarez.
Yeah.
They get that free kick.
I don't know how he gets away with that.
They force it home somehow.
But there is not. I've never seen a more blatant dive before in my life. Like, was it Sarr that was the closest play? Like, it was nowhere near him. Like, literally nowhere near him. Couldn't believe it.
You know what's the sad thing is, after that first 20 minutes was probably some of the best football we've played in a couple of months, and that's how low the bar is. We scored a nice goal, and we did create a few. You know, Romero hit the post. Richarlison should have scored with his chance. So we did, a few things, but obviously Solanke went on to score another one after a mistake. It was probably better on the ball than we've been for like a few weeks or a few months. But
you know what? I tell you what. After that fourth goal,
it was over. Yeah,
my head was so gone. It literally didn't matter what they did for the rest of the game. They weren't going to get it back to level terms. They weren't going to get it any sort of respectable scoreline. My head was completely gone. It didn't matter what they did after that. It is still gone. Like, if that goal goes in though, Richarlison's, and we get a goal back at that point, that really just sent me over the edge, man, because we're attacking, great ball from Porro, Richarlison, header, within 5 seconds, they're up the other end and put it on beyond all doubt if it wasn't before. It's just like...
And that's not the first time it's happened under Eagle. You know, North London derby, we have the goal ruled out, and they go up a minute later and score, and all of a sudden changes, and that goal they scored off the break of that Richarlison miss is so hard to take.
Top quality though, wasn't it, from them?
Runs right through the whole defence, right through the centre. All the space in the world. He picked the ball up on the halfway line and no one's near him. Yeah. And it's so frustrating. So frustrating because Richarlison's got to bury that. He's got to bury that. Yeah, we got that late goal, obviously makes it 5-2. Look, I've obviously got no hope in the second leg of overturning it. you do have to say though, I think Atletico weren't that impressive apart from the
gifted
slips.
it to them, man. We gifted them everything.
There was 3 slips. I mean, we had the same amount of shots as them. Look at the stats on screen in a moment. Like, it wasn't like they were all over us in terms of like chance after chance after chance. We just gifted them 3 goals.
Yeah, but also the reality is that after 15 minutes, 23 minutes, they didn't need to do anything. You know?
Yeah, I agree.
They didn't even need to play football.
They didn't need to, but it wasn't because of their good work.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
We slipped 3 times, and
what I'm saying is you don't know how they actually would have managed the game if we didn't make those mistakes. They could have played great football, but we just don't know. But look, it was again self-sabotage of the highest degree. Every game, it's just self-sabotage. You just look at ourselves more than the opposition every single week, because it's every game that we lose. It's not about how good the opposition is and how they're completely destroying us. It's how bad we are and the individual errors that we make every week. If we cut out these individual errors out our game, then we could potentially get stuff out of games. But these errors are getting more and more every single week.
Yeah.
And it's just like, how the hell are we supposed to do anything when we keep making these errors?
There's nothing anyone can do when those kind of things are happening on the pitch, everything seems to be going against us. Even right at the end of the game, Romero and Paulinho clash heads and both go off. Maybe they're going to be concussed and potentially both missing the game on the weekend, on top of Van de Ven missing it with suspension.
If it's a concussion as well, we're lucky that Nottingham Forest game got moved to a Sunday, because if it was on a Saturday, they would have missed that game as well.
You can miss that one. I mean, everything that can go wrong is going wrong. It's like, what are you supposed to do about it?
It's just like, it just feels like we're an absolute lost cause. That's what it feels like right now. It feels like when you're judging it objectively, we keep saying, we look dead certs for relegation. We're dead cert to go out this competition, dead cert to not win a game for the rest of the season. But surely at some point we've got to find something. There's got to be a bit of luck that goes our way, because we're just getting so unlucky. As much as these individual errors are killing us, we are also just getting so unlucky in every game as well. We get no luck our way.
Yeah.
No luck whatsoever. And as each game progresses, we're getting more unlucky and more unlucky. The individual errors are getting more and more as well. It's just like a whole concoction of bullshit every single week. You just can't write what is going on at this football club. I've never seen it. I've never seen it to this extent before to any club.